Entity and data in CDS. Welcome to the sub channel. Here we will discuss how to create environment in CDS, which is a important topic in Dynamics 365 in Power Apps, and we'll discuss how to work with entities and how to manage it. I'm just creating a new environment using my trial version, and I'm just clicking on create environment. Once the environment is created, I will create a database in the series. Now my environment is created. I will just create database now. Here I have to choose which currency I want to deal with customers. I will choose United States dollar, USD. So once we select the currency field, it will ensure that all currency related fields or attributes will be created for that specific entity when we create entities, right? Once the database is created. Now let's select USD and click on create my database. There is an option called as include sample apps and data. This will ensure that some sample apps and some sample entity data will be created automatically. If you want, then you can just check it, or if you don't want, then you can just uncheck that, and you can click create my database. Once you click on create my database, it will take some couple of seconds, in couple of minutes maybe sometimes. Then it will create your database for this environment. You can change your environment at the top level, right? I have created new environment for this demo purpose. Otherwise you can choose your own. If you have Dynamics 365 instance, then in the environment option you will find your uh, Dynamics environment organization also. So it is still building the database. That's why no solutions, no apps, no tables are showing here. So if you go to the solutions also, you will don't find anything here. It is still saying building your database. Let's wait for some couple of seconds. Try refreshing entities, try refreshing solutions. So sometimes so if you want to access CDS platform, then you have to click make.powerapps.com in browser. Then you will have this CDS option to work with. Now you can see all solutions are loaded for my environment. These are all sample apps and solutions that are already loaded because I have clicked the install sample apps checkbox. Okay. Now if I select entities, then you can see I have many entities available here that are part of the sample entities that are installed uh, with the process of database creation, right? When I click account entity, you will find many options are there: fields, relationships, business rules, views, forms, and dashboards, charts, keys, and data. And these are all the part of the entity account. So we can edit the options anytime, right? Now there is an option called as get data also. Okay, so if you go to our left side, you can find all options are there, and if you want to load any entity data, you can just click on this get data. And if you want to export or import some data for a specific entity, then you can use the get data from Excel. Now once I click get data, then it will load the options by which we can select the Excel sheet that stores all data and that will be imported. So let me so using this new entity option, we can create new entities, right? Let me create new entities for now. I have clicked new entity and I'm giving a display name as doctors, and there you will find a display name, right? Primary field. So primary field is nothing but the field that will display to the users if there is no field exist, right? The primary field is the main user friendly name of a specific record. Now this is mandatory, right? We cannot bypass this. So I'm giving this primary field name as this doctor's name, and I can also select other options here below with descriptions, entity type, and of ownerships. I can give some descriptions here. Let's say entity for doctors, and if I go to entity types, then I can define whether I want to define as a standard entity or activity entity, and I can also use ownership as team or user ownership or organization ownership, right? So user and team I can define here. If you expand this collaboration also, you'll find many options here. You can use allow feedback option, right? So that user can give feedback for these entities, and you can also enable this activities checkbox so that we can create activities for this entity. So these are all the options that we can enable while creating a new entities. This is very similar while creating the entities in Dynamics 365. So there is no new thing, but the user interface of creating these entities is very much impressive in Power Apps while working with CDS entity creations. Now we have enabled SharePoint options also here for this entity, and we have auto create access teams for the entity. There are many options here. So once we will verify our need for this business entity, we can go through selecting the checkboxes, and we can just at last click on create, right? We have also other options like create and update settings, offline enablement options for the entity. Then you can click create, right? So there are many options that we can enable while creating entities. So duplicate detection option is there. If you want to enable duplicate detection rule for that specific entity, you can just click on this checkbox, and you can also enable change tracking option for that entity. So once everything is verified, now we are ready to click on create entity. Now once we click on create entity, the entity is created for us, and after some couple of seconds all the out of the box attributes or fields will be created for us. Now if you refresh, it will add other out of the box fields in background. Now I will add some more attributes for this entity uh, like doctor's contact number and clinic information. You can see in the background all the out of the box fields are created by delegate, created on doctors. All these are out of the box fields that has been created by the system. Okay. Next, I will add some more attributes like doctor's contact uh, number and clinic information. Let me add display name. Let me give clinic name, and data type is very important, right? When you create attributes, you have to define proper data type, whether it will be text or whether it will be text area, or the input type is email, URL, or whether you want to capture date time values or it is a whole number. So there are a lot of data types available for a specific field that you can choose, but for this attribute that I am taking for clinic name, it would be uh, text, right? You can also file data type by which you can enable file upload option for a specific entity. So for now we will select text. Here you can specify a required attribute, whether the attribute that you are defining will be required or it is optional while entering data for that specific record of this entity. Now we have other options also we can define. So let me add more fields. This time I will add contact number for that doctor. Let's select data type as phone number or phone. There is a data type phone. I can select phone number. Now I will define required level as required. Now I will just click save entity, right? Once we save entity, the entity creation is done. Now I have, so till now I have created an entity for my CDS environment, right? Now I want to get some data for this table, right? As I have defined the entity doctors in my CDS platform, I want to load some data. If you select the data option, you will find no data exists for this doctor's entity. I want to load some data from Excel sheet that I have with me, or there is a large scope by which you can, you know, load data for this entity. If you want to load data from Excel, you can just click on this edit data in Excel option at the top bar. It will download the Excel sheet template for you, where you can edit data in Excel sheet, right? I can define some doctor name, clinic name, and contact numbers quickly. Give some data here, give some contact number here, and once it is done, I will save the Excel sheet. I'm just taking two records now. So once it is done, let me save the Excel file here. So now I'm ready to import this Excel sheet that is having data. So I can click on this get data. Once we click get data, it will give us a number of data source connectors that I can use, from which I can use to get data. So here you can see there are many categories here. You can read online Excel sheet data. You can use database to read data, right? You can also connect SQL Server, Oracle, and some online cloud applications to read data if you have your data in the cloud data sources, right? So if you have uh, any data in some XML file, then you can also select the XML, the data source, and you have to give some if you have any Excel sheet in your OneDrive, then you have to click this Excel file to give the address of this Excel file. But I don't have the OneDrive Excel sheet, but I have the Excel sheet in my local machine. So what I have to do, I will just click on this get data from Excel without clicking this get data option. So these are all the options. So if you have any folder path you can give here, but this is not our discussion scope. So just close this. Let me go to the back. So these are all the options, but to upload the local Excel files, these are not the required options. Close this. Now if you click on this get data drop down, you will find there is an option called as get data from Excel, right? So click on this get data from Excel. It will ask you to upload the Excel sheet from your local machine. Right, now click on upload. Now go to desktop, and so go to the location where you have saved the Excel sheet, then you can just upload. If you have any error in the field mapping, then you will have to change, you will have to edit the mappings, otherwise it will give error. Now go to right side. If it is still updating, just click on this map fields properly. Now click on this map. So just give the correct mapping information here. Clinic name to clinic name, contact number to contact number, then doctor name to doctor name. Now you can ignore all other attributes. Now you can click on this save changes, then import. What was the Now you can click on import. Now this is the last stage of importing data for a specific entity, by which you can load some data for a specific entity in CDS platform, right? Now this is trying to import data. Once the data is imported, we will find all data that are available for that entity in data tab. Now click on this entity, then go to doctor's entity. Then if you go to data, you will find the records that are loaded are displaying here, right? So this is how we can upload data for a specific entity, how we can create entities, and so we can also update new attributes. You can create new attributes. We can update existing attributes as per our need, right? So we have option sets here also. We have many things here. Uh, so this is all about how we work in entities, how we load data, right? Thank you for watching this.